It's time to start your engines for the Racing Roundup Show. Coming to you live in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on the Big 1070. Stay right here for the next 90 minutes for complete coverage of the world of motorsports and the Wisconsin racing scene. The Racing Roundup Show is America's longest-running weekly motorsports radio program held in front of a live audience. You still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's live broadcast. Stick around after the show for giveaways. Buckle up for 90 minutes of fast-paced fun on your radio. Here's the voice of NASCAR at the track, and you see him on Fox Sports and MAV TV's live coverage of the ARCA Racing Series. The host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey, gang, how are you? It's a Tuesday night. It's April 2nd, and it's the start of our 35th season of the Racing Roundup Show. Can't tell you how pleased we are to have a great crowd here at Paulies Pub and Eatery. It's mid-construction, and we've got some great things to talk about on the air. If you're just tuning into the Big 1070 in Madison or the Big 920 in Milwaukee, we're here every Tuesday from now through September, bringing the latest in the world of motorsports. We cover the Wisconsin racing scene. We cover local racing. We cover all forms of racing on the national scene as well. And I'm looking forward to having you join us here at Paulies Pub and Eatery this evening. We have a special ticket offer we'll tell you more about if you've not already seen that on our social platforms. We've got some great guests lined up for this first program. Some of the biggest news in the offseason around here anyway in Wisconsin is racing is back at the Milwaukee Mile on Father's Day, Sunday, June 16th. We had the principals involved with that. We'll give you details on, indeed, the Father's Day race at the Milwaukee Mile on June 16th. 5 divisions of racing. Looking forward to talking to Bob Sargent and Dave Kircher about that. We have a NASCAR update, of course, thanks to our friends at Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup. It includes Kyle Busch, who did not sweep this weekend at Texas. We also have our first show since the 1980s has been with the Dolans. So Teddy Dolan's here, TJ's Dolan is here, and they brought their money man. The Silver Shark, Scott James, is here tonight as well. He drives the Dolan Motorsports Dirt Late Model. They bagged the last 2 Georgian Rush Shuffer Memorial races in Wisconsin, and he won some $9,000 last couple of months of 2018. So we're going to talk to some of the hottest teams, members of Dolan Motorsports, and their driver, Scott James, who's with us tonight. He's our hot dog daddy driver of the week. More on that in a little while. We got some more surprises for you, too. Joe Vertigan and Roger Regath have been tearing up the Northeast. Well, guess what? They're here tonight promoting the book, The Bird and the Bear. I've got my own copy right here in my hand. Joe is the author. It's a story about Roger Regath and J.J. Smith and all the wonderful racing on dirt and pavement that has filled history books throughout Wisconsin. They are now in book form, and we've got the author as well as the bear with us tonight here at the program. So come on down and get your copy. Joe, I think also brought along a couple of tickets to the Wisconsin International Raceway, any Thursday night regular program. So looking forward to giving those away after the show. Rob and Dave are on the way from Indian Motorcycle at Metro Milwaukee. We'll catch up on what they've been doing on the offseason on 2 wheels. And our Bonafide Short Track report includes a nice preview of the Dell's Icebreaker 100. That's this Sunday. The Super Late Models are out in force. They're racing for $3,000 to win this Sunday at Dell's Raceway Park. We'll talk to John DeAngelis about how he can break through and win a big one. After he finished top 15, I believe it was, at the Snowball Derby, he's chomping at the bit to go racing. Again, the Dell's Icebreaker 100 is this Sunday. We'll talk to John more about that as he is our App Royal Star Driver of the Week. We've got a great program for you. Come on down and join us. We've got specials on hamburgers and bottled domestic beer here at Paulies Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. We're live till 7:30. After the show, some great giveaways. So come on down and join the racing crowd. Welcome to our 35th season. This is the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee and the Big 920. And I'm Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Add beauty and value to your home or commercial property with professional landscaping from Central Services Company, Incorporated. The team of professionals at Central Services is the personal choice of over 30 years of satisfied customers in Southeast Wisconsin with landscape design, construction, and grounds maintenance. Call Central Services at 262-548-0005 for all your landscaping and lawn care needs. No job is too large or too small. From lawn fertilization and weed control to award-winning landscape construction, Central Services is your full-service landscape company. Call the experts of Central Services at 262-548-0005 for a free, no-obligation consultation at your home or business regarding your landscaping or lawn care needs. Find out why Central Services can provide you with a visual difference in the art of landscaping and lawn care. Call 262-548-0005 or toll free at 1-800-236-LAWN. Central Services, the visual difference in landscaping.
Spring is around the corner, and that means one thing. It's time to start planning for fast family fun at Elkhart Lakes Road America this summer.
Start your engine!
Whether you're looking to learn how to ride a motorcycle, experience a high-performance driving course, Take in one of the 12 major race weekends from IndyCar to NASCAR, or reserve a venue for your company picnic. Road America has all the fast-paced action for any motorsport enthusiast. All public race weekends include on-site camping, free parking, and complimentary admission for youth age 16 and under, making Road America a great value for any family outing. If you'd like to learn more about Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, including this year's schedule, visit roadamerica.com. That's roadamerica.com, or call 1-800-365-7223 for this year's Road America race schedule. Road America, your national park of speed.
Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st Street and Greenfield Avenue serves up Milwaukee's best pizza, outstanding wings, and a great pub menu. Paulie's Kitchen is open late every night with great nightly specials. Paulie's has a shuttle bus to all Brewers games. Party on the patio this summer with Paulie. Paulie's has 18 flat-screen TVs to catch all of your favorite sports. Stay up to speed and download Paulie's mobile app and receive a free 22-ounce tap beer. PauliesPubandEatery.com. Have you partied with Paulie?
If you own an American V-twin motorcycle, bring it to the pros at Two Boss Performance. Hi, this is Rob Schaaf, owner of Two Boss Performance, Wisconsin's premier motorcycle performance headquarters. See us for all your Harley-Davidson Indian motorcycle maintenance needs. We service bikes from 1984 to present. We specialize in exhaust, suspension upgrades, and more. Whether you need a cam or complete overhaul, Two Boss can handle it. We have expert tuners that know how to maximize your bike's performance on our in-house dyno. Two Boss Performance offers SNS, crate engines, and more. A full list of our services are online at twobossperformance.com. Also, we are Milwaukee's only distributor for Everguard oil additive. Our experts have the answers. Give us a call today at 414-322-9602. Two Boss Performance is located within Indian Motorcycle of Metro Milwaukee, located on Racine Avenue, just 5 minutes south of I-43 in Muskego. Check us out today, twobossperformance.com.
Have you partied with Paulie?
And welcome back to the Racing Roundup program. We are live on your radio. We're live on the website, and thanks to Matt Rapina, Coldwell Banker, Homesale Realty, we are Facebook Live right now, I think, right? Is that working? Okay. If it's working, give us a thumbs up on the Facebook Live, Dealey Bobber. We want to thank everybody for chiming in during our signal test. If you saw what we did and tested our Facebook Live, thank you for responding. And the Paulies interior is looking new. Brand new windows are in today. Lots going on here, and we're here as our main home throughout the summer. We'll tell you all about our schedule on our website, where you can watch us live, thanks to Matt Rapina, Coldwell Banker, Homesale Realty, at mattrapina.com, as well as our website. I should probably give that out, huh? RacingRoundup.net. RacingRoundup.net. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and have some fun. We start every year around the beginning of April. And 26 years ago, we lost Alan Kowicki. And what an offseason it's been for us, hasn't it been? Alan Kowicki was inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame on February 1st. Thanks to Tom Roberts, the team PR person for Allen and Rusty Wallace and Miller Brewing for all his years. I was able to attend the Hall of Fame induction in Charlotte with my brother John. It was awesome. It was great to be around Paul Andrews and Peter Jellin and Tony Gibson and Tom Roberts and some family members from Allen's in California. It was really cool to be there and let it all sink in. But it's hard to believe it's been 26 years already that we lost the Polish Prince, Alan Kowicki. And to see the response, and I've got a picture here that Russ Lake actually provided to the NASCAR Hall of Fame for use on their special ticket. We've got a picture here that I want to at least tell you that that's why it's here. It's the first show of the year. And I got handed as we walked in, our friend Zig and Zag, they have gone to the Mai Tai Lounge, which is no longer open, but Al there had a banner made after the 1992 championship. And I want to say sometime mid-April or May of 1993, they had a race party at the Mai Tai. I've got to figure out how to display this banner properly. It's a big paper sign. It's the size of a big banner. It says 1992 NASCAR champion Alan Kowicki. And it's autographed by Terry and Joyce Jeffords, who started this show in 1985. It's autographed by Daryl Dobbs, the first host of this show. May they all rest in peace. Autographed by the Dolans. It's a really cool, it's a paper sign. We're going to try to take some good care of it, but that's another reason why we want to say it's great to see one of our own in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And we always dedicate this show to Little Al Schill and Alan Kowicki and all those who have passed and made it such great memories and long-lasting memories. And for the rest of us, we get to go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame and see all the cool Kowicki stuff. And it's really a neat experience. I encourage you to do that. And it's great to know that a guy who raced right across the street here at the Milwaukee Mile and grew up probably a mile and a half east of us on 76th Street here in West Dallas, is in the NASCAR Hall of Fame, forever enshrined. It's pretty cool to know all of that, and certainly want to dedicate this show and our program, as we do each and every year, the first broadcast, to the memory of the great Alan Kowicki. The NASCAR Report is brought to you by Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup, a proud Wisconsin family business and NASCAR race team sponsor. Thanks to Anderson's. They're back with us another year. They're sponsoring Super Late Model standout Dennis Prunty and Richard Childress Racing with driver Tyler Reddick. Try some Anderson's Maple Syrup on your next dish of vanilla ice cream. It's delicious. Kyle Busch was looking to sweep all 3 National Series races at Texas Motor Speedway in the NASCAR world over the weekend, but a loose race car and a brush with the turn 4 wall on Sunday sent him back to 10th. Denny Hamlin led 3 times for 45 laps, overcame pit road penalties, and grabbed control of the race after a 3-second splash and go. Pit stop with 16 circuits remaining to win his second race of the year. The now 2-time Daytona 500 champ sped past the finish line 2 seconds ahead of Stewart-Haas Racing teammates Clint Boyer and Daniel Suarez. Pole sitter Jimmy Johnson finished 5th. Eau Claire's Paul Menard finished 19th and saw his Ford, along with 5 other race cars, 2 per manufacturer, loaded up by NASCAR tech people to get to an aerodynamic check back in Charlotte this week. And we'll see how that turns out. They did that last year in the spring as well after Texas. Kyle Busch won his 54th truck race on Friday, which was also Kyle's 4th truck race in 4 tries this season. Stuart Friesen was second, and Nacito, Wisconsin's Johnny Sauter led once for 7 laps and finished 3rd. Kyle Busch won Saturday's Xfinity Series race, his 95th in that series. Only 5 to go until he breaks the 100, and then he said he's going to be done racing in that series. It's great to see how strong he's been doing, though, bringing the competition up. There's strong finishes at Texas. These 4 regular series racers are locked in this Saturday to race for a $100,000 bonus. Thanks to Xfinity in the Dash for Cash, Tyler Reddick, Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe, and Michael Annette. So 2 of those guys have been on our show. I think that's kind of cool. But look for this Saturday to somebody win a $100,000 payday. Across the street, I mentioned, is the Milwaukee Mile. We're live at Paulies Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. And as I mentioned, we are back. The Milwaukee Mile has racing back in June, Father's Day weekend. Let's welcome in the men who are going to help make it happen. The guy who signed the rent check, Bob Sargent with Trek Enterprises, and Motorsports Milwaukee's Dave Kircher. Guys, thank you for what you're doing, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
I get to see Bob on occasion because he promotes 7 other ARCA Menard Series races throughout the year, so I've seen Bob a lot because I get to do the TV for that. I also wanted to tell you that you and I have talked numerous times, but you finally said, I want to put a race on at the mile. How did this all come about? How long has it been in process, Bob?
It's probably 5 or 6 years. You know, we talked about bringing the ARCA Menard Series here and did some negotiating with the fair, and then a couple years passed. We couldn't get the right date set, so then a couple years passed, and we were really close this year to bringing them. And again, some date situation sponsor, and we had this Father's Day date already set. We had the fair negotiated, so we just went forward, and you know, we were really proud to get with Greg and do the Midwest Tour and bring in all the other divisions.
Greg is Greg McCarns, who owns Madison International Speedway. Their season starts up in May, but you mentioned the ARCA Midwest Tour. That's the touring stars of the Midwest, and there's some national interest, I'm sure, as well for coming. What are all the series that are racing there that weekend, Bob?
Well, you know, we've got 5 of them, so we're going to be having the Midwest Tour Super Late Models is the premier division. We'll have the Midwest Trucks, the Mid-American Stock Cars, the Upper Midwest Vintage Series, and we're going to have the Vintage Indy Registry cars. So they were in Gateway last year, got a huge response out of them. They're really newer model Indy cars. They're expecting maybe over 30 of those. You know, they're just getting a great response. So a little bit of everything out here. We've got some open wheel, we've got some stock car, and you know, we're back on the Milwaukee Mile on Father's Day. So I've got to appreciate all the response, the positive comments from the whole community and the racing industry itself. So we expect a really good event.
You've had some good timing. We're talking to Bob Sargent with Track Enterprises again. They are putting on the race June 16 at the Milwaukee Mile. It's a practice day on Saturday, I'd like to mention. But when you announced it, it was the timing was right. Hey, there's a race at the mile before the Snowball Derby, before the PRI Industry Trade Show. Then tickets went on sale right before the ARCA race in Pensacola. What's been it like since the PRI show and the announcement? What's been the buzz? What's been the feeling of the people in your office and who you encounter on a daily basis?
You know, just a lot of buzz. We do close to 100 races a year, and we were fortunate to do one in Pensacola March 9th, and this one, Milwaukee, are the 2 things that we get the most phone calls about. So March 9th is over with now, and all emphasis is on Milwaukee. Father's Day weekend, we're getting calls about camping, general admission tickets. They'll be on sale at Menards May 4th, just on and on and on, that we'll keep putting information out and getting to all the fans, and we'll get information about the Midwest Tour guys and you know, who to look for, who's hot, who's not. It seems like we have a big response from multiple states coming.
For camping, for tickets, they're on sale now. What's the best way to go about getting them, Bob?
Best way to do it, they are on sale through the fairgrounds online, or you can walk right up to the ticket office, or you can always call at our office in Illinois and or get on our website at trackenterprises.com. So there's multiple ways to do it. Again, they'll be on sale in Menards through the month of May, and just a lot of different ways to get tickets. And
the ARCA Midwest Tour site has a nice link as well, right to the ticket page. If you go to midwesttour.racing, you can find it there. Great stories as well, advancing what's going to be a great weekend. Dave Kircher will bring you in now. You've had a chance to watch racing, be involved in racing for 4 decades. What is Motorsports Milwaukee? What's your role in this weekend?
Well, actually, it started in 1961, Jim.
Okay.
There are a few people out in the audience who kind of grew up with it, too. Grew up when the Milwaukee Mile was a premier track, big with USAC, IndyCar, stock cars. And, we seen it thrive back then. Hopefully the older crowd isn't all gone. We want to get them back. We want to get a new crowd. We want to get a younger crowd. This started out seriously probably 2 or 3 years ago when you and Greg McCarnes and I were drinking beer and said,
a lot of things get solved when you're drinking beer between this 3, I tell you.
And then, fortunately, Greg and Bob got together to put the race together, the weekend together, and we offered to help out with hustling sponsors and group sales.
And as Bob mentioned, he's got a lot of events going on. Bob, how is this going to help you having a local founded group working with you that know a lot of people in the area? It
means a lot. As many races we're doing in so many different markets, to have Dave and you guys and Greg, a lot of local people here, that's going to help a lot. We're going to lean on a lot of that. The fairgrounds, the fair board's been very good to work with. So, we'll be up here quite a bit. We're also racing all-star sprint car race with Tony Stewart at Sun Prairie, May 19th. And then we got
who again? Stewart's racing? What?
Yeah, we got a super late model race at Wilmot, July 2nd. So we kind of moved into the Wisconsin area pretty forceful.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
we want to see more of you because you're bringing quality racing with you.
So we're excited about those 3 events.
And when we're talking about the Father's Day, June 16th, it's neat to know that there's a buzz, there's an interest. When you mentioned tickets went on sale in March, there were people buying them online already. Dave, what kind of things do you think we'll look forward to here going forward with getting tickets and maybe involving community groups and that kind of thing to really get those stands full?
Well, we'll be rolling out a little bit more on package sales for groups. I worked it out with Bob that we can do a little discount with some auto groups like the USAC group, the Racing Wisconsin group, and the Watson auto group followers. We're also promoting to those groups of 50 or more for a discount. Paulie could set up a group of 50 here, and we'd work out a deal.
And Bob,
we're also reaching out to through my network in the community with minority chamber groups and kids groups. I've had a meeting with MATC already, and we'll be meeting with the Adam group on the MPS auto tech group.
Cool. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot to do. We're, 2 months and change away, Bob? You were here all day today. What were you doing at the fair park?
Again, we were at both Sun Prairie and Wilmot, and now we're staying the night and going to do some more work tomorrow. But we met with a few sponsors today, did some logistics about the infield parking, the pit parking, all that needs to be really organized well, and we're well underway with all that. And, again, we met with Greg and looking forward to all the interest in the super late models coming. So between those, the Indy cars, everybody's really starting to ramp up a lot of excitement.
And when it comes to getting tickets, get them now. You guys want to reveal the special offer we have? It's only during the show. It's here at Paulies till 7:30. What's available, Dave?
When Bob and I get off the air here, we go to the back table, and for anybody who saw the post on Greg's Facebook or yours, $15 tickets. It's only during the time of the show. Just one ticket blitz we wanted to set off here.
So a great way to kick off our 35th season, a great way for you to get tickets, limited to 4 a person between now and 7:30. Come to Paulies Pub and Eatery if you're not already here. Bring cash only. You're welcome to buy up to 4 general admission grandstand tickets to the Father's Day June 16th race for $15 a piece. Thank you guys for doing that. That's really, really kind of you to get that rolling. And it's only during the show. You got to buy them here before 7:30. So thank you guys for doing that as well. How about I stand for these guys? Bringing racing back to the mile.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Bob Sargent. Thank you, Dave Kircher, for being on the program.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
And we'll have more information. We'll give you all the accurate details as we continue to be a source for accurate event information. And we look forward to helping every way we can, bringing in the race and prominence back to the Milwaukee Mile. While we're giving out applauses, we have a motorsports journalist among us, though we don't see that often, but he's here with his camera. He's also the motorsports beat writer for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. I just want to say hi and thank you, Dave Coleman. Welcome to the Racing Roundup Show headquarters. Good to see you. Dave's doing a story about racing and radio in Wisconsin, and I'm glad to say that we got some really cool stuff with duct tape and hammers and nails to look around this beautiful woodwork here at Paulies, the exposed studs and all. So look for that in an upcoming edition of the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, and support Dave by clicking on his stories every 3 minutes on JSOnline/sports, jsonline.com/sports. Thank you, Dave, for coming. We'll get you on the show another time, but he popped in. We got a lot of great guests, a lot of great friends in the audience, and can't thank you enough for being part of our first show. And our first 2 autographs are going up on the Bob Trado Signwriter 35th season banner. We've got here all the guests sign it throughout the year. More guests on the way, more fun. Again, that ticket special's only during the show. You've got to be here at Paulies to pick them up and buy them, up to 4 tickets for $15 a piece for the Father's Day special at the Milwaukee Mile. On the way, we've got some really strong teammates called Dolan Motorsports. They're going to be joining us. It wouldn't be a first show without Ted Dolan and his son TJ, and they brought along the Silver Shark. We also have Joe Vertigan, and unfortunately Roger the Bear Regath is feeling under the weather, but that means more time for Joe to talk, so that's okay. We'll talk about his book, The Bird and the Bear. It's a great book. I encourage you to get it. Matter of fact, we have one now to give away after the show. Thanks, Joe. Rob and Dave are on the way from Indian Motorcycle, and John DeAngelis will join us previewing this Sunday's Dell's Icebreaker 100 at the Dells Raceway Park. $3,000 to win super late model race. We'll talk to John during Dean Strom's Bonafide Security Solutions short track report. We got a lot going on. Stick around. We've got more for you on the Racing Roundup program. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee and the Big 920, and on Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Get your whole family involved in affordable, competitive kart racing at Wolf Paving Raceway, home of the Badger Kart Club in Dousman. Most Sundays from April through September, Club Championship Points Racers and National Touring Series will race on the challenging paved road course. 4 bank turns have been added and provide new challenges to Wolf Paving Raceway, already one of the finest kart racing tracks in the country. Kart racing offers competition for racers of all ages, from 5 to 80. There are 15 classes and over 100 entries a week. Race where Ellen Kowicki, Danica Patrick, and Josh Palicki got their start. Spectator admission is always free. Walk the pits, talk to the racers, and check out the action from the grandstands. There's a play area for the kids and great food at the concession stand, too. Bring the whole family and check out kart racing for yourself. Wolf Paving Raceway is just south of I-94, 35 miles west of Milwaukee, and 45 miles east of Madison. Take the Highway 67 Dowsville-Oconomowoc exit, head south to Highway 18, then west to Grambling Road. For all the latest information and race schedule, visit BadgerKartClub.com.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to InterstateBatteries.com. Go to InterstateBatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel are experts in automotive repair. From minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. For 23 years, Oak Creek Automotive has Milwaukee's South Side covered when it comes to know-how and automotive repair. Call Oak Creek Automotive at 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Fridays, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Head to Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel for all your auto repair needs.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show, live from Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield in West Allis. Visit the show's website, racingroundup.net. Like the show on Facebook and follow on Twitter at Racing Roundup. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on the Big 1070. We'll be right back after a quick pit stop.
It's time to tell you about a brand new product coming to market, the Hot Dog Daddy, an all-beef gourmet hot dog made right here in Milwaukee. You'll taste the difference with the special spices and family recipe. These dogs compare and taste better than the big three hot dog makers. Look for the Hot Dog Daddy, 100% all-beef skinless hot dogs, soon to be available in Sendik's food markets and Cermak Fresh Market stores. Ask for the Hot Dog Daddy at your favorite grocer. This week's Hot Dog Daddy driver is Scott James of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, who's here tonight with his Milwaukee-based Dolan Motorsports Dirt Late Model team.
We got some. We got some hot dogs from the Hot Dog Daddy to give out after the show. And we've got a Hot Dog Daddy driver with us, Scott James, who's with Dolan Motorsports. Should we just call him the money men? Or maybe we'll just steal that Woody Harris term, the purse snatchers. Let's talk about Dolan Motorsports. Ted Dolan, TJ Dolan, and their driver, Scott James. Guys, thanks for coming to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Teddy, we got to start with you. We do it every year here, first show.
Been a long time. I can't believe it.
Thanks a lot for coming on. And
sitting next to Gary Bohr, we go back in the day sitting at these shows.
Like day one kind of going back.
Yeah, just kids at our tables.
Yeah, I remember.
All of his and all of mine.
I don't think your kids were quite tall enough to like meet the minimum height ride equipment, like 4 feet tall or shorter. I think.
A picture. My twins got a picture with Al Unser Jr., and I was trying to think how old they were, and he wasn't much taller than they were.
If I remember right, the clock we have is a Martinsville clock here right in front of TJ. And I remember Al Unser Jr. coming to our radio show, probably 1990, 89, somewhere in there, and he had a phone with him. He had a cellular phone with him that was like the size of.
Not in a bag.
No, it was white, and it was about the size of that clock, and it had a little antenna on it. And I'm like, what's he doing over there? What's he talking to, the wall? He had his phone on. It was like, wow, the first cellular phone I ever saw. Of course, Al Unser Jr. walking in the show. We had a lot of fun. We still have a lot of fun, Teddy. What kind of fun you having these days with your team and what you're doing behind the wheel?
Yeah, just looking out the window during the day, from my house. No, we got working on cars here down in Lawrenceburg. Get the Sharks, keeps us going. We're excited about having him driving for us, and we're looking for a great season this year.
And
more engines, got another car on the way. We got stuff going on.
And TJ, you got to be pumped. I know it was a. We want to do this right. We've got a car ready. We need a driver. What do we say? We get this driver, Scott James, in their car. And boy, you guys have produced, haven't you?
Yeah, we go way back from when I used to drive for Heiser down Kankakee, LaSalle, and we kind of gelled. Stayed in touch with him a little bit. Been following him my whole career. Really impressed with his driving, how clean he was, the sponsorships he had. So really gelled after the last 2 years.
And Scott, let's bring you in on the conversation. Thanks to the article in Dirt Monthly, we've got a couple of magazines, if we didn't give them away already. In this issue that we'll have to give away after the show, page 48 is a big display about Silver Shark is circling again. Scott James and Dolan Motorsports Part 1. And I learned by reading this article, the nickname Silver Shark came about because you were the first guy to go rad with the paint job. Is that right?
I wasn't the first one. I just seen a lot of guys putting different designs on when the wraps first started coming out, and they quit painting the cars. And me and my brother talked, and we just decided to put some sharks down the side of the car, and thought that would be cool and mean, and try to win some races and eat up some competition. And people started calling us the Silver Shark, and it stuck.
Did you get the man in black attitude because of that shark thing, so you felt you could make more aggressive moves, or did you live up to that name thus far before you got with these Dolan boys, or after?
I think I've had that attitude before I ever started racing. I'm a pretty mean football player back in the day, but no, I mean, it just it was something that stuck, and it worked, and people went with it, and once it went, it took off, and people got all kinds of nicknames for me, from Gray Guppy and Silver Minnow, but we kind of like Silver Shark.
I think it's also a great way to say we cash checks. The last two, George and Rush Sheffer Memorials, you guys won those. And then at the end of the year, you went to a little playground that you won 2 big money shows at. I want to say I've got it right here. Hang on. Where were you? The leftover, the hangover races, you pocketed $9 grand there. What track was that treated you so well with back-to-back big wins?
411 Motor Speedway, just a little, I'm not sure exactly where. I think it might be right on the other side of Knoxville, in between there and it's almost close to Gatlinburg. We'd never been there before. It just things worked out well for us. I mean, these guys gave me the car and the good equipment. We went down there and decided to run, and it worked out good.
Hang on with Scott James, the Silver Shark with Dillon Motorsports. TJ and Ted Dillon joining us. And TJ, what's it been like since Scott's been on board? I know you don't win every race, but you've gotten your chance to win some pretty big ones that mean a lot to you guys.
We win together, lose together. We always have a meeting Monday mornings. Where should we go? What should we do? What's our budget? Because we're still a small team. To get in a magazine like this is a big deal for us. To win a couple big races is huge. Really boost the guys up, sponsors, the driver, the guys that work on the car every day. We appreciate every minute they do on the car. So I'm just proud of how far we came in a couple years.
Yeah, and you guys did already play this year. We mentioned the offseason. It was December 29th, that last win at 411. So not a long offseason. And then you guys went south to Florida and Georgia. And now you're kind of retooling a little bit from that, TJ. Where
we
you at
got in
right
an
now?
accident right away down there. We should have regrouped and came home. We stuck it out. Car was bent a little bit. We fixed the upright. We won the heat race the last weekend or the weekend before, and we had a flat tire. We started outside front row, got a flat tire. We know the car is good. We know the driver's good. We got great engines. We got great car, great crew. So we're very confident coming into this year.
And Scott, what is it about the chassis you have now, and how different does it become throughout the season? Are you updating that throughout the season? I know catching the wave of the right chassis at the right time seems to be critical at the level you guys are racing at.
Well, I've been with Rocket chassis probably 85 to 90% of my racing career. So it's something I'm used to, and obviously the new car they came out with probably 4 years ago, it's called an XR1. It's updated. It's one of the most updated cars you can get, and they showed in Florida and here recently the Rocket House car how dominant they can be. So with them getting information from Rocket chassis, they give us everything we need to go out there and perform at a high level, and I can't say nothing bad about them. They've always treated me right, and that's why we've been there for so many years. So, but 2 years ago, TJ and Jacob contacted me about getting involved and being their driver, and obviously things worked out. First car wasn't a Rocket, and I talked them into getting a Rocket, and since then the team itself and we've been able to succeed and run at a high level and win some big races. Obviously. Coming to Wisconsin is important to win the Scheffler Memorial because the Scheffler name is huge in Wisconsin, and for me to come up here and drive their car, it's an honor, and to win the Scheffler Memorial back-to-back years is not only is it big for me, but I know for them and the Scheffler family because they were really really close, and to keep that trophy and run the last Scheffler and win the last Scheffler Memorial was big for the team, and I know it's big for them.
Yeah, the last race by plan from Russ Scheffler was we're going to go 10 of these after my dad passed away. Then Russ passed away. And now there's a race that continues on in Russ's name. It's going to be at Plymouth. Is that something you guys are looking at, or you don't know your schedule yet, TJ?
It's a tribute, yeah. Greg Wester and Chad Marquardt do a lot of work on that, so we're going to contribute. We're going to try to get Scott up here. Russ means a lot to Wisconsin, means a lot to me, my family, everybody that races. Just a great competitor, good guy. So we're going to try to make it up.
What does your schedule look like right now? Is it a blank sheet of paper, or are you looking at 4 or 5 dates?
Scott's got 10 written down, the next 10, so you'll have to ask him.
It's a fairly aggressive schedule. It keeps us close regionally, back down in the Cincinnati, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, that area, tri-state. I mean, this week we're at the World Outlaw Races at Farmer City. Starting on Thursday night, they got to practice. And then we follow that up with Brownstown's got a 5,000 to win. The week after that, Chillicothe Atomic has 10,000. Then we go to Eldora for one of their pre-tune-up races for the Dream Race. They got a 5,000 to win. And then we go to back to Florence, the track where we started on the front row 10 days ago. They got the 12,000 win Lucas Oil Race May 4th. So we pretty much got the schedule booked up through there, and even a little longer up to the Dream Race at Eldora in June. So it'll fill in, and can't wait to get back up here and run. For sure.
And TJ, when would be the first chance you're on this side of the border, you thinking, with the schedule?
Maybe the Scheffler Memorial or the tribute.
Yeah.
We need to warm up a little bit.
I hear you. I knew Scott was trying to acclimate himself well. Scott James is not from here. He's from Southern Indiana, and he walked into the radio show wearing the Drink Wisconsin sweatshirt. I'm like, perfect.
Sponsored.
Fitting right in. Might as well get local right away.
That's right. I got my Monkey Bar sponsor on now. So,
what's it been like with your friends, your sponsor that you brought to the party, Scott? And how much fun is it racing with these guys that are really after it.
It's been great. I mean, they haven't got to hang out a lot, but I got Ron Powell, who's on board with me, who's been with me probably since 1995, since I started racing a car.
Wow.
He owned our team when we ran Lucas Oil for 6 years, and he's still on board. He doesn't own the team no more, but he's in with Powell Equipment Services. John Hoffman Trucking. He's out of Iowa. I got the Monkey Bar and Grill now. They're on board. There's just so many of them. K-Bar C Bucking Bulls. They sponsor us. You can watch them on the PBR on any Sunday night. Sparkling Acres is part of that. So, I mean, if you ever watch a PBR event, you'll see Sparkling Acres Bulls. They're right down there from where I'm at, and they sponsor our team. So, they're into bulls, but they like racing. So it's a good deal. And then obviously Complete Heat Treating and everybody else that sponsors us. And it's a great team effort. And it's just it makes it's cool, because we're 6 hours away, and somehow we make it happen, And the reason we make it happen is because we're a lot alike, and we're almost like family, And it clicked that way, and it's been that way since we started. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know when that day's going to come, when it ends, but at the end of it, we're still going to be family, and that's what it's about to me.
TJ, it's a great way to play it because that's how it has to happen. You've got to be involved. You've got to be engaged. And you're going to have a little bickering every now and then. That's what families do. And you're going to have some really good success and enjoy the fun. TJ, how about your end of the deal? How much fun are you having bringing to the party with Scott behind the wheel?
I never thought I'd like to step back and watch, but when you're winning races, it sure makes it nice.
How about sponsorship that you brought to this or have now engaged because of the successes you guys have had?
I got to meet all Scott's guys, all his sponsors. We appreciate every one of them. We get to see some Facebook Live stuff that we can't attend because we got to work. We got to build our business up to pay for stuff like this. So we're just happy to be involved. And my dad, he's a great cook, so he loves to go to the track. So
I'm the cook and the driver from the airport.
Are you driving any late model stuff this year, Teddy?
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. But you got to have a car shiny and ready for Scott if he needs a backup. So what? If it's
we're
all
working
good.
on that. I got one in the garage.
All right.
We can leave the stuff at home and drive his stuff up here in Wisconsin.
That's right. That's right. Now that you got the sweatshirt, you're in.
I can fly up here. That's a lot easier than driving.
Yes, it is. Yes, I've done that drive. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Guys, as far as the crew goes.
Yeah, I need to get that in.
Yeah.
My guys, my brother Stacy, he's down right now with his back ailing a little bit. Paul Snipes just came on board this year. Really, really good. He works for a company called Dynabrade, so he's familiar with a lot of that stuff in the metal business and air tools. Darren Literal, been with me for a long time. I can't say enough about him. He's pretty busy now. Two other people I need to talk about is my wife and my daughter. They're watching right now. I told them to make sure they watch. Hi, Abby. I love you. I'll be home tomorrow. And my dad, and then all the guys that help up here. I mean, there's so many people involved in this that make it work. It's a big team, and everybody has been great. I mean, all the guys back there, TJ can talk about them. But every time I've been up here, it's been awesome. I don't have to do nothing but put my suit on and get in the car and drive.
Yeah, we got our local guys. Chuck Zaha's right in front of me. Jeff Jones, Brad Schneider, Brett Gunderson, Ryan Gross, and Jacob Dolan's absolutely the brains behind most of what we do. He's really smart on setups. He's too embarrassed to get on the radio. He always tells me to wear the driver's suit.
I don't see him even.
Jake, you at the bar?
Hiding. He's hiding. He's hiding behind the corner, but no, he's really the brains behind setups and
shocks.
And shock timing is everything. You know that. So really glad to have a great crew.
Great to know you guys are part of our start of our season. You guys are well in the swing of things. We wish you all the success. Ted Dolan, TJ Dolan, and the Silver Shark, Scott James. Let's give a hand for being on the Racing Roundup program. Guys, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us on again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Love having you on. We got, again, the Dirt Monthly magazine. They gave us a bunch of T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, decals. So thanks to Dolan Motorsports. We got some great giveaways after this show and perhaps even in the weeks to come. So can't thank them enough for their donation. So we do giveaways after every show. Matter of fact, we'll tell you who's all involved with our giveaways when we come back. We have an author on the way. His name is Joe Vertigan. The book is called The Bird and the Bear. It's about J.J. Smith and Roger Riga, two great champions from the Wisconsin. We'll talk to Joe about his book that's available now. We'll find out where it is as he's on a very, very popular tour of Wisconsin, and he made a stop tonight. So we're hopefully going to sell you some books. We'll give one away at the show as well. Also on the way, Rob and Dave are hanging out with us from Indian Motorcycle of Metro Milwaukee. We've got to thank our friends at Bonafide Security Solutions and Matt Rapino Caldwell Banker Home Sale Realty for their involvement on the program. John DeAngelis also will join us regarding the Dells Icebreaker 100 race coming up this Sunday at the Dells Raceway Park. $3,000 to win, super late model race, and the drivers list is growing on that one. More to come on the world of motorsports. That's what we do every Tuesday here on the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned. You're listening to us in Milwaukee at the Big 920. On Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dave, co-owner of Indian Motorcycles of Metro Milwaukee, where motorcycles are our passion. To prove our passion, check out our Colorado trip videos for 2017. We have a full calendar of rides and events, and we hope you can join us this riding season here in Wisconsin. We're proud to be Milwaukee's only flat track racing team with pro rider Jeff Carver riding an FTR 750 prepped and raced right out of our shop. We are Milwaukee's experts when it comes to motorcycle performance and upgrades. We carry the newest in ride gear and accessories. We are also a Royal Enfield dealer. Shop the new and pre-owned inventory here at Indian Motorcycles of MetroMilwaukee.com. Experience the quality of today's Indian motorcycles made since 1901. Indian Motorcycles of Metro Milwaukee, located on Racine Avenue, just 5 minutes south on I-43 on Racine Avenue in Muskegon.
Calling all racers. Turn your metal recyclables into cash at one of Allied Resource Recovery's locations in Milwaukee, West Allis, or Waukesha. Who doesn't like cash for that metal you no longer use in your race shop or on your job site? Allied Resource Recovery, family owned by hardcore racers, and has been recycling since 1938. Recycling pays for you and the environment. Allied Resource Recovery, your recycling destination. For more, visit AlliedResourceRecovery.com.
Sunday, April 7th at Dells Raceway Park, the 5th annual Icebreaker 100. Super late model drivers competing for the first race in the Alive for 5 series. Great drivers like defending champion Dennis Prunty, Ryan Farrell, Casey Johnson, Austin Nason, Mark Eswine, and so many more. The 602 late models and INX legends add to the excitement. Gates open at 11, green flag racing at 2. For more info, go online to DellsRacewayPark.com. Don't miss this exciting kickoff to the racing season, the Icebreaker 100, Sunday, April 7th at Dells Raceway Park.
Friends on Forest Home is the new name for BB Rebels at 56th and Forest Home. And the tradition of the trophy continues when there's a caution flag during Sunday NASCAR races. If your number's drawn, you get the trophy and drink for free until the next caution flag. Owners Tom and Jackie are carrying on the NASCAR tradition in a remodeled, fun atmosphere with beer bucket specials during the races. Friends on Forest Home wants to sponsor your league team. And Friends has a shuttle bus to all Brewers home games. Come in a stranger, leave as a friend. Friends on Forest Home at 56th and Forest Home Avenue is Milwaukee's original NASCAR bar.
You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show, live from Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield in West Allis. Visit the show's website, racingroundup.net. Like the show on Facebook and follow on Twitter at Racing Roundup. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on the Big 1070. We'll be right back after we take on a little fuel.
And we're back on the Racing Roundup Show live at Paulies Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield. We're on the air until 7:30. Tickets are still available for the Milwaukee Father's Day race if you want to buy them at a special price of $15 each. Come on down to Paulies Pub and Eatery while we're on the air until 7:30. You can buy up to 4 tickets for $15 each for the Father's Day race at the mile. Come on down while they last. Also, I want to tell you that there's a lot of cool things going on. There's a viewer from Australia, Morgan Melvin, a longtime crew member for Scott James. Scott, as soon as he got off the air, did a 180 and said, we got to say hi to Morgan. Hi, Morgan. Glad to see you watching in Australia. Glad to see you're helping out Scott in every way you can on the road as well. Tonight's giveaways after the show include race tickets, 2-pair race tickets to the Thursday Night Thunder weekly racing at Wisconsin International Raceway, bottles of Super Clean Cleaner Degreaser from Dick Kaiser and the Lucky Tiger Racing Team, Interstate Batteries, flashlight, keychains, and hats. Thank you, Scott, to the entire crew at Interstate Batteries of Southeast Wisconsin. Greg Koltek and his wife Colleen are here tonight. Thank you for your support. We have bottles of Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup to give away, a pair of race tickets to take Dad to the Father's Day 100 ARCA Midwest Tour, Midwest Truck Series, Mid-American Stock Car Series, Vintage Stock Car, and Vintage Indy races on Father's Day Sunday, June 16 at the Milwaukee Mile. We have 2 classic racing pictures from Russ Lake Photos. He was in Victory Lane at Daytona in 1995 when Sterling won his second straight Daytona 500. There's an 8x10. We'll give that away after the show. And if you were there, I was there. It was the coldest Indy 500 in a long time, 1992. Pole winner Roberto Guerrero in his Quaker State car, standing at the Yard of Bricks the day after he won the pole for the Indy 500 and didn't make a lap. He spun out on the pace laps. But that's a cool picture. Great story. I could even tell you more about it because I was there thanks to the Wilkie family and their tickets. Matter of fact, I saw Chris Wilkie walking through here. Wilkie Racers leader card. Great to see you here, Chris. Other giveaways. Yeah, I'm getting off tangent, but that's what I do. We got some Napa number 9 Chase Elliott hats from Oak Creek Automotive. Bobby Gutenecht is in the house. Thank you, Bobby, for all your support and the Oak Creek Automotive bunch. We have a Miles the Mouse Melius number 1 hat, the white one with the number 1 with the little mouse on it. Yeah, thank you, Bob, for that. We have hats and tees from ATD, Automatic Transmission Design. I mentioned earlier, Dolan Motorsports has tees and sweatshirts and the Silver Shark 83 window decals and copies of the Dirt Monthly magazine I talked about. We got some of those to give away. We have a pair of Helio Castroneves gold-plated sunglasses from a Shell Pennzoil Racing press conference.
That's cool.
Why not? They're right there. They're shiny, they're gold, and they could be yours. I don't know how much they're worth, but, hey, I don't know if they used real gold in Goldfinger the movie either, so we'll see.
Good for a man cave, right?
Yeah, exactly. We also have a Bobby Allison framed wall plaque from Ralph Hibbert. Thank you, Ralph, documenting his 1983 championship. We have a copy of the book of The Bird and the Bear. Thank you to author Joe Vertigan, who we'll talk to in about 10 seconds. And we also have a sample pack of the Hot Dog Daddy Gourmet Hot Dogs, soon available in grocers, including Sendix and Cermex. So thank you to the Hot Dog Daddy for coming on board and helping us launch their product, coming out in stores. Make sure it's in your favorite grocers by talking to the people stocking those shelves saying, give me the Hot Dog Daddy. Right now we're talking to the man who's behind the book, The Bird and the Bear, the racing tales of J.J. Smith and Roger Regath. Let's welcome in Joe Vertigan. Joe, thanks for coming to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on again, Jim.
This is really neat to have you here. You sent me the book in the off-season, I'd call it, but you've been on season. Since this book came out, you guys have been a lot of places promoting this book throughout the area.
Yeah, I want to say we did maybe 5 book signings prior to Christmas, and we had a couple after the first of the year, so I enjoy writing the books, and to be honest with you, I enjoy the book signings probably as much, if not more, just to talk to the people, and they'll come up and tell stories. It's like, doggone it, I could have had that in the book,
How hard was it to decide what was in the book? Because there's so many stories. These guys have raced forever.
They have. What an inspiration for me. I grew up as a kid in the early 70s, first seeing these guys. And, JJ was the hero and Roger was the villain. Now, I'll tell you what, the promoters in northeastern Wisconsin, they reaped the benefits of that. People would throw beer cans and bottles at Roger after he'd take somebody out, and the stories are well documented in there. But they both have a history, too, in USAC stock cars. In fact, both had some good stories about the Milwaukee Mile that are in the book. JJ getting some tips from Bay Darnell, of all people, and Roger Regath seeing A.J. Foyt, Pernelli Jones give each other the bird down the backstretch and actually get into a fist fight afterwards in the locker room in the infield. So just a ton of stories. I could have even made it bigger, but I like how it turned out.
That shower room is not that big. I'm sure Roger got his best of whoever he was against because he was the bear, is the bear.
Yes, and it's, Roger, they both have different takes on A.J. Foyt. You'd have to read the book to find out what they thought of him. So.
What a tease you are. It's called The Bird and the Bear. Where is it available if we can't buy one tonight at the show?
Up in Green Bay, it's available at a lot of spots there. You can order on Amazon.com or Barnes & Noble on print on demand, or you can simply reach me on Facebook. I'm very accessible there, and we ship books as well. It'll be at WIR on sale at DJ's Souvenir Trailer all season long, too. So
you mentioned WIR. There's a handful of USAC races that were happening there. I imagine these guys, we're talking about Roger Regath and J.J. Smith, they might have been the guys that were the go-tos for when McCluskey and Nelson and those guys showed up at that joint.
They were, and the interesting thing about Roger Regath, JJ was always a hands-on guy. Roger never turned a wrench on a race car. He was that good, and he was very blessed to have a great crew behind him. In his heyday in the 70s when he won all those titles on the dirt, he had a guy by the name of Mike Randerson, who was Alan Kowicki's crew chief for his 2 titles at WIR. So, he credits Mike Randerson and also Gino Weber, who was on his crew, as he goes, they were the brains behind the whole deal. I just drove the car.
And what's amazing to me is there's another guy around here named Frank Smith who did not do a lot of mechanical things, but just was that good. What amazes me about what I found out in the book, The Bird and the Bear, is how many different people wanted them to drive their stuff. They didn't have to dig in their pocket a whole lot to go racing, did they?
No, they were both hired guns. I mean, I think I listed in the book, JJ might have had 10 or 12 different car owners that he drove for. Same thing with Roger. Those guys didn't have trouble finding a ride. They also had some success in the asphalt. JJ did have 1 title at WIR. They both won a ton of features. In the 70s, when the era was still there, when you could run the dirt and the asphalt.
Same car, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think Lowell Bennett might have been the last guy to kind of do that up north by us. Around 82, they kind of turned into different animals. So, yeah, they cover all that stuff in there. And the hard work and sacrifice they took, running 4 nights a week. You had Leo Speedway in Oshkosh on Tuesdays, Kaukauna Thursdays, and then they'd race Saturdays and Sundays, Seymour to Pierre-Chano. So it was a brutal grind, and they had regular 40-hour-a-week jobs, too.
The neat thing about this is you lived it. So you get the chance to tell these stories. This is not your first book, but how much enjoyment has there been knowing that you now have people that raced against them or saw them like you did as a kid coming up to you at these autograph signings, and even tonight you might have some people sharing stories. That's got to be really enthralling for you, is knowing you've had the stories. Now they're here for everyone to know, but you keep getting that fuel, I guess, to help feed that flame of, yes, I love this sport in Wisconsin.
It was cool because I saw him as a kid racing, and then I was blessed enough to be able to announce their races when Roger came out of retirement to do the Grand Nationals at Chilton in the early 90s. And then JJ in the 90s, I announced at Kaukauna for about a 4 or 5 year span, too. When Matt Kenseth, last year's champion, I was there announcing him, interviewing Matt a lot, before he was still Matt the Brat back then. But JJ was competitive in that era, too. So that part, it was pretty special as well.
And I see you're wearing the Chad Butts number 8 racing shirt. So
yes.
That was Matt's ride back in the day when he won so much with the Butts racing team.
Oh, I tell you, Mike Butts has had a ton of success. Chad is his full-time driver now, but not only Matt Kenseth, but Terry Baldry. Doesn't get a lot of credit, but he won something like 11 titles at Kaukauna and was always held in a pretty high regard. He's a very soft-spoken guy, but Terry was a very smooth guy. He'd go around you rather than kind of go through you. And he was easy on equipment, too.
Joe, I've had a chance to follow you on Facebook, finding out what's going on, what's hot, what's cold. Joe Vertigan is a busy guy. What are you doing these days? And is the threat real that you might even be moving up north at some point?
Kind of. Still doing the PR at Thursday nights at WIR for the Fox River Racing Club. I have a cabin 15 miles away from Norway Speedway, so I jumped back into announcing there last year after a 5-year hiatus, and I forgot how much I missed it. I mean, and you've been there for a long time. There's no better thrill than that gets your blood going, and handling their PR. And I'm actually going to get involved in Eagle River a little bit this year, and more so in the future in 2020. They run a Tuesday night program, a neat little dirt track up there if you're ever on vacation. Eagle River Speedway, known for snowmobiles, but they've got a nice little track. And Pat and Jimmy Zadroik, who's from Big Bend, you know him.
Yeah.
They're involved in that, and they're taking it back over, and they're making a big push to kind of revive it a little bit.
And the Decker family sold it to the group that runs the snowmobile activities there, the Hall of Fame, etc.
Yep.
But the summertime turns into the Zadroik family actually getting involved in the operations side.
And it's weird, though, with the Tuesday night program up there, Jim, I bet you close to 50% of your clientele up there, fans, are from Illinois, because what happens in Eagle River, which isn't a bad thing, they actually rent cabins all week. What are you going to do on a Tuesday night?
Yeah.
That's right. They were on Friday nights the last couple of years and had smaller crowds, and they're going back to Tuesday, and so far the response up there has been pretty positive.
You've got a lot going on. This is the book, The Bird and the Bear, we're talking about now. Joe Vertigan, what's on your plate when it comes to putting more books together? What's on the press now?
The one on
the press to produce a book.
Yes, the one I'm working on now is titled Racing in the 906, and that essentially is going to cover the extensive history in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. The tracks, still active include Norway, Escanaba, their Marquette, Sand Speedway way up there. We're going to go as far east as Kinross, which is on the Canadian border. And there's also a lot of history of the tracks that are no longer there. There was a track in Ishpeming, for example, Ironwood. Even in the Sioux in Canada, you used to get a lot of crossovers. So I'm going to make an overnight trip and interview some of the guys up that way, some of the legends, like guys like Hubie Bazoo, some big names up that way. So
there's a lot of Wisconsin racers that also traveled. Well, Willie Gaden would go quite often to Norway. I mean, when Iverson came down, he knew he had a bunch of buddies he could talk to about coming up, and they did.
Oh, they did. And the modified deal was huge in the 60s, and it was nothing for the Milwaukee drivers to kind of make that way up when that division was real hot. It kind of fizzled out in the mid-70s up that way. It just got a little costly and whatnot, and then the track was paved too. So a lot of dynamics. We're going to cover all that in the book, and so far, I'd say I'm about 25% done with it so far, but I've just scratched the surface in interviews so far.
Sounds really cool to have that as another thing to keep the blood alive and keep the memories going. Tell us again where we can find The Bird and the Bear, the story, the racing tales of J.J. Smith and Roger Regath.
Well, if any fans are, like I said, if you're ever at WIR, DJ Speed Zone, I'll have them for sale at the track there. Up in Green Bay, Munster Shell, Boss's News Depot, and Appleton, Right Foot Performance, and also Hank and Karen's Bar in Appleton. They sponsor a lot of race cars. And just reach out to me. We ship books on Facebook. Also, Coastal 181, too, out on the East Coast. That's all part of Speedway Illustrated. They're big in with that, too. So you can also get them. That's kind of the racing website for readers. So good stuff.
And, Joe, I know you started your holiday season. How many more appearances will you have promoting this book before you turn attention to a full-time deal this summer?
We've got 3 coming up. We're going to be at the Dirt Kings opener down at Shawano Speedway, April 13th. We're going to be at the Outagamie Speedway opener, which switched from Sunday to Friday nights, I believe May 8th. And then WIR has a pit party the Thursday before their opener, which is May 16th. Ginger and Dan Van Dalwick have taken that over, and they're trying something new. It was a big success last year to get all the cars and stuff in the pits. And
no racing, just come on down and let's get a preview. Let's kind of kick the tires, smell the new paint.
It is. It's kind of cool because people drive their spectator cars right on the front stretch of the half mile.
Cool.
They have a band and all the. I bet you we had 80% participation with the teams. They give their hot shots, put the kids in the car, take selfies. It's a good way to get the kids there early, and it's not a late night for them. So we want to build on that for 2019 too.
Keep up the great work, Joe. Thank you for all you do. Again, The Bird and the Bear available on Amazon, and where we talked about, make sure you get part of Wisconsin's history. Thanks, Joe, again for putting this book together, and we hope the Bear gets better. I know we wanted to chat with him tonight, but he's under the weather, so please pass along.
He'll be. He wanted to come too because he literally grew up. He lived right by the Milwaukee Mile. He's a West Allis native, so not crazy.
Great, and you can find that out in the book too, I'm certain, because there's a lot of good reading in here. I really enjoy having you on, Joe. Thanks. You're welcome back anytime.
Appreciate it, Jim. Thank you very much.
We're saying for Joe Vertigan joining us here on the program.
Thank you.
Make sure you sign our backdrop as well. Thank you, Joe. We are going to go two-wheeling here in a few minutes. We're also going to tell you that Dean Strom has been warming up since, well, let's see. He's worked at Daytona. He's worked at Phoenix. He's worked at Auto Club Speedway. He's primed. He's ready. He's warmed up. He's been on the microphone a lot in our off season. This is the start of our 35th season, and you're listening to us live at Paulies Pub and Eatery, 81st and Greenfield in West Dallas. Dean's on the way. John DeAndros is going to talk to us about the Dells Raceway Park Icebreaker 100 this Sunday. And we've got a lot more to tell you about because we have great giveaways after the show. A special shout-out again to Russ Lake, and he's got great photos to give away tonight. Russ is on the mend. You can get a medical update from Russ. His brother Mike is here. Great first show. Come on down and join us at Paulies Pub and Eatery. Tickets are still selling, I believe, as well for the Father's Day Milwaukee Mile Race. $15 tickets only while we're on the air until 7:30 here at Paulies. Special offer. Take advantage of that as we go to commercial. We want to remind you, you're listening to the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and on Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Bergie's Pub and Prime in Caledonia is your destination for mouth-watering prime rib dinners and sandwiches and awesome pub burgers. Enjoy daily menu specials, the soup of the day, steak sandwiches, wings, and the area's best homemade pizza. Try Bergie's Friday Fish Fry or weekend breakfast buffet from 7 a.m. till noon. Bergie's Pub and Prime is a proud sponsor of the Good Neck Racing Team. Bergie's is just minutes south of the Milwaukee Airport, off of I-94 at the 7 Mile Road exit. Head east 2 blocks and hang a left on Frontage Road till it ends. Like them on Facebook, Bergie's Pub and Prime.
Bobby Gutnick and the technicians at Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel are experts in automotive repair. From minor to major repair, from oil changes to engine and transmission replacement. For 23 years, Oak Creek Automotive has Milwaukee's South Side covered when it comes to know-how and automotive repair. Call Oak Creek Automotive at 414-761-3250. They're open for your convenience Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. and Fridays, 7 a.m. till 6 p.m. Head to Oak Creek Automotive on South 27th Street at Drexel for all your auto repair needs.
Interstate Batteries, proud sponsor of the Racing Roundup Show and the number 18 of Joe Gibbs Racing. Interstate Batteries is the #1 replacement battery in North America. You deserve the best, so get the best. Go to interstatebatteries.com. Go to interstatebatteries.com to find a dealer near you. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. Get yours today. Race on.
Stay tuned to the Racing Roundup Show, America's longest-running weekly motorsports radio program held in front of a live audience. Stay up to speed every Tuesday night on the local racing scene, NASCAR, and the world of motorsports from 6 to 7:30, live on the Big 920, WOKY Milwaukee, and on the Big 1070, WTSO Madison. You still have time to join the racing crowd for tonight's live broadcast and win prizes after the show, too. Once again, here's the voice of NASCAR at the track, and you see him on Fox Sports and MAV TV's live coverage of the ARCA Racing Series, the host of the Racing Roundup Show, Jim Trado.
Hey, gang, thanks again for being part of our first show of our 35th season. Great supporters like Oak Creek Automotive. They're hanging out with us tonight. Central Services, thank you, Gary and Melody, for being here and being here for every year of our show. It's great to have that great support. Wonderful sponsors, including ATD Auto Transmission Design. Thanks to them and a lot of other great people making this happen. If you're looking to sell or buy a home or commercial property, Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty is the place. List and buy with confidence. You hire a landscaper because of their expertise. You hire a roofer because of their expertise. Hire a realtor that has the knowledge and expertise to get your deal done. Not all realtors are the same. Knowledge is power. Hire knowledge. Matt Rapina. Coldwell Banker Home Sale Realty. MattRapina.com. MattRapina.com. Thank you, Matt, for sponsoring our webcast as well. And we're live on Facebook for the first time. Facebook Live tonight. Watch anytime you want. Go to our site, racingroundup.net. Click on the old live button. Look for the show you want to watch and have some fun with us because we're loaded for, well, we got a lot of wallpaper up here that we brought ourselves because Paulie's in the middle of construction, but it's great to know Matt Rapina, MattRapina.com is part of our program and sponsoring our show each and every Tuesday night here on the Big 920 and on the Big 1070 in Madison. We now welcome in the men who ride on two wheels for a living. They love talking about it. They love fixing them at Two Boss Performance. Let's talk to the men behind Indian Motorcycle of Metro Milwaukee, Rob Schaff and Dave Davis. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate you being us being here.
I stopped in the show. I stopped in the office last week, Dave, and you guys were busy.
We've got more going on this winter since about October on the sales side. Obviously, we did some construction. We've put in additional space for winter storage. We've redone our service department. We've got a series of brand new bikes that are coming at us. The FTR 1200s, which are really the replicas to the FTR 750s, which are so known in flat track racing. The Royal Enfield Twins will be out shortly. Our new construction area is retrofit with a series of used product. And last but not least, we've got filled with new Indians from top to bottom. So we are busily at it, that's for sure.
So I took a picture with my phone in the showroom of the FTR 1200. You got a nice big mural up there, Rob. You're a performance nut. How cool is this bike? And it comes looking like it's race ready.
Oh, my God, you guys. I can't even believe to tell you this. It's the FTR 1200. This is a direct replica what Indian Motorcycle has developed off the FTR 750, which has won the flat track racing and AFT Twins for the last 2 years in a row. Driven by Jared Mees, and our driver, Jeffrey Carver, finished 4th in points. This bike is absolutely a game changer for anybody that wants to ride an American V twin with all kinds of performance parts already out of the factory, ready to go.
And when it comes to performance, Two Boss Performance is your shop. Anything American made, pretty much you guys can fix, right?
Absolutely, Jim. In our Facebook page, we just did a post. We did a Triumph that went over 200 horsepower. Eric is Eric Stack is our premium tuner. This guy is amazing. Anybody that needs a bike tuned, it doesn't matter what's on the the badge on the gas tank. We can tune it for you. You know, all the way to JB Bracken. JB Bracken just left our shop tonight with a V-Rod that we tuned to 260 horse and 160 foot-pounds of torque. He's going after a 200-mile-an-hour, self record. You know, it's not a record in that class, but he wants to go 200. And
so he brought it to Two Boss Performance.
And we, Chris Ells, Eric Stack, and myself built the engine and tuned this bike. And it left today from the shop, and we couldn't be more excited.
And the shop is expanding. You guys have the main building, I'd call it, but now I think every window is full of Royal Enfields or signs that say we trade bikes, we sell used bikes of all kinds. I mean, this is happening on Racine Avenue, just a few minutes south of I-43 in Muskego.
We think it's high time to tell the world that we do have a pre-owned inventory made up of Harley Davidsons and many other manufacturers here that are native to the United States and come to us from other markets. We're also really promoting Two Boss. It is by far one of the industry leaders in V-twins, and Rob's made a career working on HD product. So we're delighted to have Two Boss to support our Indian operation, and I think they're 3 weeks out already, and they're spinning wrenches day and night just trying to keep caught up. So we're real pleased with the service side of our business.
And Rob, you've gotten a chance to chase to the racetrack as well, working with Jeffrey Carver, seeing the American Flat Track in action, and Indians still kicking tail there, according to what you're telling me and what I'm reading.
Dave, he'll tell you exactly how Jeffrey Carver's doing right now.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We for 2 races in the box, Jared Mees, who obviously won that championship last year in the first race, came in dead last, didn't score a point in Daytona, and we all kind of had a little chuckle. And then in the second race, which was in Atlanta, Jeffrey came in sits in about 7th position right now overall after 2 races. And our bike has been performing excellently. So the racing season is off and on its way. 18 races throughout the United States. Rob and I will start attending when they kind of get their way to Sturgis. That's just about the right time for us.
We, a couple of mechanical things here with Jeffrey is he finished 9th in Daytona, and then he finished 6th in Atlanta. And the reason he told me, he said, "Oh my God, you guys, I seen a halfway flag, and I knew in my heart I could win this race." And then all of a sudden his brakes went away, and he was boiling his brake fluid, and we had 660-degree brake fluid in that the reservoir. And we've now reached out to IndyCar people that supposedly there's 1,000-degree brake heat brake fluid out there, and so Jeffrey and Ben Evans are definitely on top of it, and Dave and I are just delighted to be able to handle this. And the last thing I would like to say is I'd like to say a big shout out to Jim Clark and Sam for giving us the opportunity to be on Bill Baylog's car.
Yeah.
I mean, this is so cool.
Have you seen the paint job of Bill Baylog's number 17?
Has anybody
seen
the paint job on Bill Baylog's car out
baby.
there? It's just amazing. And it's got Indian Metro Milwaukee on it. And I want to thank Jim Clark for doing that. It's we're very humbled and very appreciative for you doing that, Jim. And the T-shirts are awesome. So make sure you guys buy a T-shirt for this for Bill. And Dave and I are going to try to get a race in and see him perform.
So when we have the president of the IRA sprints what Billy primarily runs around here anyway. Instead of when the car gets on 2 wheels and they call it bicycling in sprint car racing, we're going to have to make sure the PA guy knows. No, he's Indian motorcycle 2-wheeling when he gets up on 2. He's not biking it. He's actually motorcycling it, Indian style.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
We'll work with
but
that.
I understand he runs up front often, and
does.
it's very cool.
Yes, he does. He's
so
the only
we
guy
really
that
want to thank Jim. And
he's the only guy
Sam.
that Tony Stewart said he beat me twice in the same way on the last lap 2 different times last year when he did a little podcast with Dale Jr. and he did everything but say Bill Baylog, but Bill knows how to get it done.
I was at our fabrication shop, CRD, Jim Schneider. A lot of people may know him, but he's very good friends with Tony Stewart. And he told me this guy has beat Tony Stewart a couple times, and he's the real deal. And we're very excited to be on his car.
Indeed. Dave, guys, thanks for coming on.
You bet. We appreciate being here. Just a couple real quick items. Obviously, we have a spring open house and demos on April 20th. June 1st at the dealership is our Blight Blessing. Please come and join us. And then on behalf of Indian Motorcycles and Irontown, if you can believe that, we put the two dealerships together that are going to meet on June 8th. And we are going to sponsor a Thank You Governor Walker ride that's going to start at Indian, go to Irontown, and is going to end up at a surprise place. And we are going to take half the proceeds and give them out as like a poker run. We're going to get 50% back on a 50-50. The governor, or the ex-governor, is donating his proceeds to the Fisher House. So please come and join us. It's not what brand you drive, it's how you drive is all we're worried about. So we've got a busy spring and June.
I mean, Dave, that is the absolute perfect thing to say, that that Governor Walker, he appreciates the Fisher House, and we in Indian Metro Milwaukee totally give everything we can to people that served, and we respect that. So thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to talk about that.
Anytime, guys. Hope to see you soon. How about I say that for Rob and Dave with Indian Motorcycle and Metro Milwaukee, guys. Thanks for coming on. Taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on the Racing Roundup program. We're racing this Sunday at the Dells Raceway Park. Dean Strom, as part of his Bonafide Security Solution Short Track Report, will have on our App Royal Star Driver of the Week, John DeAngelis, in a preview for this Sunday's $3,000 to win race at the Dells. Things happen as soon as 11 a.m. on Sunday. Looks like weather might be cooperating. We'll find out more on this edition of the Racing Roundup Show. Stay tuned. You're listening to the Racing Roundup Show in Milwaukee in the Big 920 on Madison's home for NASCAR, the Big 1070. We'll be right back.
Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln is a great place to watch NASCAR races, Packer games, Brewer games, and to meet up with your friends. Joey and Jim Lynch pride themselves on their friendly hospitality and welcome Racing Roundup listeners to stop in to watch all the races on their 14 TVs and flat screens. Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln has been a longtime supporter of racers, including National Road Racing Motorcycle Champion Dan Volansky. Relax around the big neighborhood bar with 2 pool tables and dartboards surrounded by TVs. Whether you're meeting up before the game, want to watch the races with race fans, or just want to grab a cold one, head to Danny Lynch's at the corner of Highway 100 and Lincoln and West Allis.
Sunday, April 7th at Dells Raceway Park, the 5th Annual Icebreaker 100. Super late model drivers competing for the first race in the Alive for 5 Series. Great drivers like defending champion Dennis Prunty, Ryan Farrell, Casey Johnson, Austin Nason, Mark Eswine, and so many more. The 602 late models and INX legends add to the excitement. Gates open at 11, green flag racing at 2. For more info, go online to DellsRacewayPark.com. Don't miss this exciting kickoff to the racing season, the Icebreaker 100, Sunday, April 7th at Dells Raceway Park.
If you want to eliminate the hassles of planning a trip to the races, then you should hook up with Boring Bob's Escorted NASCAR Racing Tours. Boring Bob offers transportation, lodging, tickets, nightlife, shuttle service, and more. Boring Bob knows all the back roads into and out of the racetrack. His motor coaches get the best parking spots. Let someone else worry about race traffic after the race. Pick one or pick them all. Go in style to Talladega, Charlotte, Joliet, Daytona, Michigan, and more. You name the race, let Boring Bob do the rest. Boring Bob has great packages for NASCAR, Winston Cup, and Busch Series events, including hotel rooms. Call Boring Bob today to make plans now to go on one of Boring Bob's famous escorted NASCAR racing tours. Boring Bob's always at 414-321-1307. That's 414-321-1307.
Paulies Pub and Eatery at 81st and Greenfield in West Allis. Visit the show's website, racingroundup.net. Like the show on Facebook and follow on Twitter at Racing Roundup. Stay tuned in Milwaukee on the Big 920 and in Madison on the Big 1070. We'll be right back after a couple of laps.
And welcome back to the Racing Roundup Show. Our first show of 2019 is underway. We're on the live till 7:30. Next week, we're back here with another great show. Come on down and join us. I want to remind you that our friends at Anderson's Maple Syrup have a new product called Pure Fuel. It's a grade A, dark color, robust flavor. It's a little packet that gives you all sorts of goodness. Over 54 antioxidants. It gives you a boost to the immune system, and you can take it anywhere. Matter of fact, the fastest lineman at the NFL Combines ran a 4.8 40-yard dash. They said, "What'd you eat before you did that?" He said, 2 double-stuffed Oreos. Guess what? This gives you Pure Fuel. This will give you that energy you want. Anderson's Maple Syrup is making it. It's called the Athlete's Choice Pure Fuel. We have some of these little packets to give away. Delicious maple syrup now in this packet form to take with you. So you want to take that bike another 5 miles around the block? Load up with Pure Fuel from Anderson's Pure Maple Syrup. Want to thank our friends at Miller Sales and Service. They are providing our sponsorship for this segment. They have the right trailer for your needs. They have great selections of Bravo enclosed trailers, Big Tex, Chilton, Reliable, and B&B dump utility and equipment trailers. Let Miller Sales and Service hook up your vehicle and what you need with the right trailer at the right price. Call 920-994-4358. Ask for Brad, Jerry, or Tom. That's 920-994-4358. And that number will get you a great deal on a vehicle. All their inventory is online as well at millerssales.com. It's now time to bring in Dean Strom and the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. Dean, welcome back for another great season.
Thanks for having me. Hey, this is the Bonafide Security Solutions Short Track Report. To select the right business and residential security system for your needs, including alarm systems, closed circuit, and card access, it's a lock. Contact the Great Wisconsin Short Track supporter, 262-790-9400, or go online, bonafidesafe.com. Tyler Erb claimed his richest career payday on a cool Sunday afternoon at LaSalle Speedway. Texas native streaked to a $15,000 triumph in the 8th annual Thaw Brawl.
Our dirt season's underway. I love it.
It is. Yep, started 11th in the 75-lap A main, and at the end it was him and Bobby Pierce and Chris Simpson swapping the lead back and forth, and they were the top 3 at the end. Erb took the lead with 3 to go, claimed the win. Dennis Erb Jr., no relation to the winner, and Ricky Weiss completed the top 5. Friend of the show, Jim, Derek Kraus, finished 3rd in the season opening NASCAR K&N Pro Series West event at Irwindale Speedway this past weekend. And since we've been on the show, we saw Derek win.
Yes, we did.
The NASCAR K&N Pro Series East Series opener. So
at New Smyrna Speedway, yes.
He's on a roll.
I saw him in Martinsville, race the truck.
He competed, since we talked last, in 2 truck series races. So
I saw him in the hot dog line, too. Those
how many
hot dogs
did,
are not
how
hot
many
dog daddy
did he
hot
have?
dogs. Just the one.
Okay.
Just the one. I don't know. He never gave a real reaction to if he liked it or not. But I convinced him to get the chili on it. Then he asked where the ketchup was. True story.
Geez. Dennis Prunty, he had some tires left over, as the story goes, from December's Snowball Derby. So he traveled back down to Five Flags Speedway in Pensacola, Florida this past weekend for a Blizzard Series race. Prunty ran 5th in the 100-lapper behind Giovante Bromonte. Dirt Kings Late Model Tour, they start coming up here in 2 weeks. Shawano Speedway, as the dirt late model racing here in the Midwest, or I should say in Wisconsin, gets underway. We'll have Jason Schultz on the show next week to talk about their 2019 campaign.
Yes, we will.
And we'll talk for in just a few minutes to Johnny DeAngelis. We will preview the Sunday icebreaker at Dell's Raceway Park. So if you got cabin fever,
oh yeah,
it's racing season is right around the corner. And don't forget about the Midwest Truck Series. They kick off their season Sunday, May 5th, Madison International Speedway as part of the Joe Shear Classic. Midwest Truck Series is sponsored in part by Pathfinder Chassis and Nora's Tavern in Deerfield. For a complete series schedule, go online, MidwestTruckSeries.com. You want to go right into the open wheel report?
Yes, I have a lot of questions for John DeAngelis. We're teasing it like they do on the news. We're teasing John DeAngelis is on the phone.
Open wheel report brought to you by Schlafer Auto Body in Lannon. Schlafer Auto will put their over 40 years of experience into repairing your personal vehicle, classic car, or fleet of trucks. They work with all insurance companies. Discover what 4 generations of racers at Schlafer's Auto Body in Lannon can do for you. Visit their Facebook page, Schlafer Auto Body. A little bit of bad news in the open wheel ranks if you're a purist. Indiana State Fairgrounds and the Events Center, it was announced today, I saw it on Facebook today.
Yeah, I did too.
That the Indiana State Fairgrounds 1-mile dirt track will be converted to from a dirt surface to an all-weather track of crushed limestone for harness racing, training, and parking for the Indiana State Fair. That means that The 2019 will be the last year for the Hoosier 100.
That's on Memorial Day weekend, same week as the Indy 500.
Thursday, May 23rd of this year, the final running at the Indiana State Fairgrounds for that 100-lapper. Geez, some guys you may have heard of have won that event.
Everybody.
A.J. Foyt, Mario Andretti, Parnelli Jones, Al Unser. Yeah, so this will be the final year for the Hoosier 100 at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. And Cody Swanson will be going for a record-setting 5th straight Hoosier 100 victory. Cody Swanson kicked off the 2019 USAC Silver Crown season a couple of weeks ago with a win.
New ride for him.
In Memphis. Yeah. So that was cool. World of Outlaws, they got 9 races under their belt so far. Aaron Reitzel, David Gravel, they were the most recent winners this past weekend in California. We got to wait a couple of months for the Outlaws to come to Wisconsin, our neck of the woods. But the IRA Outlaw Sprint Cars are in action this weekend in West Burlington, Iowa. Combo event with the Midwest Open Wheel Association, and the IRA Sprints return closer to home in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, Beaver Dam Raceway for the Whipperfirth Memorial.
Sounds cool. It's now time for the App Royal Stat of the Week, coming off his 13th place finish in the December running of the Snowball Derby. The 51st running, Wisconsin Super Late Model pavement racer John DeAngelis has raced for championships at Slinger Speedway and in the ARCA Midwest Tour, and has his sights set on this Sunday's 5th annual Icebreaker 100 at Dells Raceway Park. Great to have our friends App Royal back with us this year. They're a leading global SAP technology solution provider who makes it simple for companies to implement big data solutions for today and the future. App Royal was founded by a Wisconsin racer and provides businesses with the big data tools for a team to succeed. Visit approyal.com to get your team the right information to take home the checkered flag. And now here is our App Royal star driver of the week. Driver number 7, DeAngelis Construction Super Late Model, John DeAngelis. John, thanks for hanging out with us. How you doing?
Good, thanks for having me.
You've got some racing to do this weekend. Are you pretty fired up? I imagine that car's been sitting. In what kind of shape was it after the Derby to get it ready for this Sunday at the Dells?
The car has actually been sitting pretty long since it's been a pretty long winter, but we're working on it right now, getting it ready to go for this weekend. Crew Chief Travis Dassow is turning the wrenches yet again this year, which we should have some pretty good success. So needless to say, the whole team's pretty excited to get back racing this weekend up in the Dells.
Johnny, let's talk about that relationship with you and Travis Dassow. Travis kind of hands in his helmet, at least part-time, on a part-time basis, to turn the wrenches and call the shots on your team. Talk about that relationship, how it came about, and how it's playing out.
It came about 2 years ago in 2017. We decided to run Takana for the full season, and we discussed it with him since we knew he was pretty quick up there, and we used him for that whole year, crew chiefing. And 2018 came around, and we decided we wanted to do a little more. So we did the whole ARCA Midwest Tour together and other specials, and it's really working out to be a great relationship working with Travis. I've known him for quite a few years doing vinyl and that, but I'm really happy where things are heading right now, and I think we're going to have a pretty good year.
And Johnny, when it comes to racing at the Dells, you've not been there a ton, but you've got a chance to race against the nation's best on a national level in Florida. You've raced against some really good competition here in Wisconsin with the ARCA Midwest Tour. I saw the entry list for this coming Sunday's Icebreaker 100 at the Dells. It pays $3,000 to win, and there's a lot more contingency cash to be had. Your thoughts about this stout field you're racing with this Sunday at the Dells?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough field to beat. Like you said, we race against a good field down at the Derby, but there's also a lot of really good guys entered up for the Icebreaker 100. There's going to be some pretty good door-to-door action. The temps are going to be nice, but the field of cars is going to be tremendous. And we've ran fairly well there the past years. We should have had a win last year, but had a spark plug layer come off, and I believe it's the Badger State 125. But other than that, no, I think it's going to be a really good field of cars, and it's going to be a really good race.
And this is the Alive for 5 kickoff as well. In one race you ran last year, John, I dug it up on the Dells site. You actually finished 5th on July 14th in a 100-lapper. You had the fastest lap of the race. What does it take to go around the Dells Raceway Park Speedway and do something like that? Get the fastest lap in the heat of the competition.
Yeah, that wasn't even really a planned race. We were supposed to be in Grundy that night for the ARCA Midwest Tour, and we just ran up there last minute all the way from Grundy, and we didn't get any practice. We went out qualified, I think, like 9th. Started on the pole, and we kind of walked away, and that's the night the spark plug layer came off. But we've always had pretty fast cars there, and with Travis, the knowledge that he has, we can make our cars even a little bit faster yet this year. We've learned some stuff down in Florida that's definitely going to help us. But it takes a lot to be fast with the Dells. It's going to be a little tricky now as they put concrete down in 1 and 2, but I think we'll be able to adapt to it pretty quick.
And I teased a little bit of the driver's entry list. I know that Skylar Holtzhausen's on there, John Reynolds Jr., Bobby Kendall, Casey Johnson. Michael Bilderback. I mean, we're talking about regional guys traveling to the Dells this weekend for the Icebreaker 100. Kevin Canese, Brandon Hill, Dan Fredrickson from Minnesota, Andrew Morrissey, Dennis Prunty, and the Andersons Maple Syrup Car, Rich Bickle, Mark Eswine, Jonathan Island, Ryan Farrell, Jake Zelmer, Dalton Zier. I mean, there's a lot of competition. When the hot laps are at 11 a.m. on Sunday, are you going to get time on the track before then, Johnny?
Yeah, we have an open practice on Saturday from noon to 5. So we should be able to tell where we sit by the end of that day. I believe it's free admission to watch from the stands. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it is. But it's going to be a fun-filled day of practice to see who's fast and learn more stuff over the winter. But definitely going to be a tough field, that's for sure.
I know, Johnny, that there's a lot of fans that have cabin fever. They want to go racing. They want to see cars on the track. Do you have that same feeling? Are you anxious? Are you chomping at the bit? You ready to go?
Oh, without a doubt. I can't wait to get back there, and we actually pitched in $250 a fast time, and my old man pretty much said, you better get that, so I'm going to try and do everything I can do to get fast time and hopefully end up in victory lane at the end of the night.
Well, Johnny, we wish you all the best this weekend. We're getting ready. It's called the Icebreaker 100. It's at the Dells this Sunday. Hot laps at 11 on Sunday, qualifying 12:30, racing at 2, and I want to tell you, you can win your own money. DeAngelo's Construction is putting up a $250 bonus to the fast qualifier. That's pretty cool. You guys are getting way behind this one.
Yep, we're actually going to do that for all 5 Alive for 5 races. So it's just a little incentive to try and get more cars to run all 5 races and put a good show on. I know Jerry Aubie had found some other sponsors for halfway and like Hard Luck Awards. So it's pretty cool.
It is indeed, John. We wish you all the best. You and your dad, I'm sure, will be arm in arm, and you got Travis working on the wrenches. Congrats on what will be a successful weekend, because we know you're going to do well. Thanks for being on the Racing Roundup Show.
Thanks for having me.
Johnny DeAngelo is joining us. I'd like to give you a few more details. Adults are $20. Seniors and students and military is $15. Kids 9 to 12 are $5, and 8 and under are free. Go to Dells Raceway Park for more details on the race this Sunday. The Dells Icebreaker 100 also includes the UMA 602 late models and INX Legends. Next week, we got a great show. Go to our website or Facebook page and find out about how we're going to talk to Jason Schultz. Road America 2019 preview with John Everett. Father Gruba is going to give us a health update. Looking forward to talking to the Padre. Darren Allard also will bring us Vintage Modified. That and more on next week's Racing Roundup Show. We can't tell you how great it is to be back. Thanks to our great staff. Thanks to Paulies for having us. We're back here next Tuesday night. Make sure you join us on the Racing Roundup Show headquarters. RacingRoundup.net is where you'll have information about all the things we get to do and have fun with. Our staff's awesome. We can't thank you enough for being part of our show. Show number 1 of season 35 of the books. Thanks for being part of it. Have at it, racers.